Let me tell you something. I've gone through the most lonely life you could ever begin to imagine. I've been alone my whole life. Even though I've had 1 million friends, I've been alone. And I know what it's like to be alone and lose every single family member you got. Every person you love. I know what it's like. You could say I was designed for this moment by going into prison for 10 years and losing everyone I love. You could say I was designed for this moment since I got deported unlawfully and lost everybody. So I really know what it's really like to lose everybody. Like, seriously. Totally disconnected. Not only the mindset they live in, but even through being deported to the other side of the planet, from everything I love and every loved one that I have in my life. I can't get near them. Never seen my grandkids. Never seen my grandkids in my life. I haven't seen my 3 youngest children since 2001. I've spoken to them many times on the phone, even on Facebook, on Messenger, but I haven't seen them in real life since 2001. Do you know what that's like? Do you actually understand what it's like to really lose everyone? Because I want to tell you something. Your emotional feelings is what controls you, right? Good or bad, no matter what the situation is, your emotions control you. The greatest way to master your mind is going through experiences like this and really learning to deal with your losses so bad. So bad you're at the bottom of the pits. And it doesn't get any worse. It can't get any worse. It's impossible. I made a very important video about this yesterday. One of the most important videos that I've ever made in history. Something about going through a certain experience, and you're not awake until you go through this, and you don't understand until you go through this experience. Unless you've had this happen to you, you have no idea what it feels like. It's important you watch that video I made yesterday. Very important, believe me. Trust me. I'll explain something to you that Jesus went through that no one can explain. Facing the devil, burning at your feet, at the bottom of the barrel. Good bit of information for you to learn from, trust me, in the time that you're in. You know, there's no real easy way to talk about this. There really isn't. You know, you can use whatever strategy you want. Think with your IQ, do whatever you like, but the reality is, the Bible warns us about this. Okay? And I want you to listen carefully. The Bible warned us that his children are going to be the most lonely human beings on earth, and everyone's going to be against them and call them conspiracy theories, liars, right? Fearmongers, okay? Narcissists, and conquer and divide with. Now, I know for a fact my greatest leaders here, okay, those that make the videos have gone through that and are going through that. I know most of the people that follow me, most of the people that really take to me and really listen to what I have to say are these kind of people. The ones that are really living in the truth and conquer and divide with every other human being around them because of the way they think and criticize you and belittle you and think you're evil and you're dumb and you're stupid and you're in the wrong mindset and accuse exactly what they're guilty of. They reflect their own personality, every one of them. And when you get pounded by, with your whole family, lovers and friends, a majority of them, you know you're in the Christ image. You know you're heading in that direction for that reason alone. For that very reason alone, you know you're hanging on to something they won't hang on to. You know they're letting go and keep following the same tools that you just can't function with. Okay, you can feel it in your DNA, you can feel it in your instincts. There's something that separates you from everyone else. When they're egotistical, when they use every other tool like everybody else does in the whole world, with brand new belief systems all over the world, living in their own comfort zone, in their own truth, and falling into bubbles all over the world, you know these people that behave like this and uses any kind of these tools are the dead opposite to us. The dead opposite to how we feel because of the way they think and the way they judge. And you know, we're coming out of that. We're realizing something we're not observing. We're waking up to what the world's really like. We're waking up to what our own family, loved ones and friends are really like, because they're not who you think they are. If there's one thing you all come to learn out here over the last 3.5 years, it's one thing I'm telling you now. You're learning the same experience I learned years ago, that your family, loved ones and friends are not who you think they are. You know, I told you that when I went to prison, I learned that the last people that would stand by me were the last people that I expected to be. You know, I've had cops and judges go in my favor more than my family. And you know how hard that is to fathom? I've had police officers that are really good and good judges that stand in my court more than my family, lovers and friends that are innocent, that goes into the system and thinks the way they do. I find that astonishing, because some of these people that stands by you, you wouldn't dream about in a million years. You just wouldn't, because you don't know them, right? It means you're not connected to them with any family values whatsoever. There's no moral instincts connecting you, so they're not your family. Maybe they're not who you are, who you think they were. You thought about that? You thought that perhaps maybe they're controlled by a whole different belief system and the mindset they live in? You ever thought about that? Because I think you should. I think you really should. What mindset they live in and what they really believe in, whether they believe in their own truth, the mindset they live in, with voices in the mind that tells them to do that. What kind of voices do they listen to that tells them to behave like this? Because it's no different than the ones that supported the vaccination if you really open up your eyes. You realize that most people that didn't take the vaccination is no different than the ones that stood by it dramatically. You'll notice that a lot of people vaccinated are just like us, right? And all the freedom fighters and truth fighters, they're egotistical to create a name for themselves and using exactly the same tools to conquer and divide with. They always persecute one another, and they persecute anyone else around them that doesn't believe in what they believe in. Same with every new belief system in the world. Light power conscious workers, light workers that are sensitive and highly emotional, they all use the same tools. All of them come into a little bubble and what they believe in and use exactly the same tools that the most evil people did that took the vaccination and supported that. No differently. If you watch the tools they use, the way they judge mentally, it doesn't matter what they believe in on both sides of the fence. You'll see they use exactly the same tools. Just as egotistical, just as self-centered, just as fucked up as everyone else is. And that's what's hard to fathom. And you see that only in one place, your own backyard, your own family, loved ones and friends. That's where you see the truth. That's where the truth's staring you right in your face. Right smack bang in your face for your own family, lovers and friends. That's where the truth is. The truth is right there in your real life, not on social media platform. It's right there. And when you understand the tools that everyone uses around the world, you'll see things differently. Vaccinated or not, COVID-19 or not, whatever anyone chooses to believe in, they conquer and divide with the same tools. That's what the Great Awakening is, to have a look at every single thing from every perspective that you possibly can. No far left, no far right. Be in balance and see what it is. And you see that every person in the world around you behaves just like your family, lovers and friends around you. That's how you know. You ask all your family and friends what they believe in, you'll find out that all the people you're seeing on social media platform are the same type of tools they believe in. You find light workers amongst people you work, people believe in this and people believe in that, right? But they all hop around the same way, on the same tools. Then you realize you're very different than all of them. Then you realize why you're alone and why you're suffering the consequences the most. Because you woke up more than anyone did. By not falling into the rabbit holes, but sitting back and observing things from a different perspective. As a witness, to witness everything, see everything, listen to everything, See with your own eyes and feel the outside influence of reality with your gut feeling survival mode that guides you in the right path. It's your feelings that guides you, man. From everything you see and hear, it's your feelings that guides you in the right path. And they don't have any. They don't have the same feelings you do. They don't have the same feelings you do. You know why? Because they have a personality and their characters, but they're not moral instincts, are they? They can't even use them. They can't even hold down an intellectual conversation with the right tools. They call you conspiracy theory when they can't even talk about loyalty, honor, respect, moral restoration, encouragement. They call you a conspiracy theory. They say that you are a fear-monger when you're using the right tools, and they can't, and they justify every other thing they believe in and use every other tool but. Why can't they use their basic common sense with their moral values in the right place and think with their natural organic motor skills to think outside the mind, to see the light bulb idea, to see the picture that tells them 1,000 words, to see the vision and dream that guides them? They cannot lie to you. Why do they always think with their voice in their mind and think critically with two voices in the mind and then expect them to give them the answer? How come they don't have faith in their own biological genes to think outside the mind and can only think with the mind? That's something you really learn. They can only think with their mind all the time. And that's how you can see that all of them are possessed by the devil, man, with demons in their mind. Because you know what? You're waking up from this and not being guided by the same tools they are. They're following their forefathers' footsteps. They're following the great gods, the gods in their mind, because they're all selfish. They're all competitive, and they're no longer human. And you can see that with your own eyes, and you can feel the truth in a heartbeat with adrenaline. As soon as you step near someone, your nerves are thinking mentally, psychologically, and judgmental and egotistical, or they think with their heart, with their intuition in the right place. You can feel it in a heartbeat through the atmosphere, right? And that's what's missing, isn't it? That's what they can't produce. Because they're robots and zombies in an apocalypse. They're in post-human states, no longer human, declared in documents, and you're the only ones that are human. You're the only ones left. Because they're not human. They'd rather be a character on a marketing strategy and consistently consume too much and be like a robot to fact check Google themselves and be a zombie that accuses people what they're guilty of because they're selfish creatures all over the world. Godless, immoral creatures all over the world. When their spine don't work, that's Jacob's ladder. That gives them no confidence, no inspiration, no loyalty, honor, respect, moral rules, because they haven't got no gut feeling, survival mode. The very preservation of life, your gut feeling is your instincts to feel things with your body cells, with the outside into reality, and they can't use it anymore. They justify every other answer and come to every other conclusion with reasoning to justify what they believe in, so it's a personality. It's not human for that reason. And man, it's not easy, I know that. How do you think I feel about it with my own family or some friends, my own kids? They couldn't give a shit, mate. They couldn't give a shit. They just keep using every other tool. I try and have a conversation with my son. He's 40 years old. He's aggressive. And all he wants to do is go to work, make money and play with his toys. It's the only thing you can talk about. Mechanical, cars, boats, skiing, sailing. He cannot hold an intellectual conversation. He cannot have any talk about loyalty, honor, respect, moral resource, inspiration, encouragement. Cannot even touch bases on this. Can't even focus on this, nor can my brothers. They just start to rattle and start accusing me what they're guilty of and say I've got mental disorders when in fact they have. And man, it's mind-blowing when you see how much the outside influence has on their reality and the mindset they live in. The Havana syndrome is happening to every human being on earth. Can't you see that? It's all over the world stage media, and believe me, it's going to explode out of control when you get it, because they're all in the Havana syndrome that can't explain, happening all over the world. The Havana syndrome. The Havana syndrome. They're in a syndrome. They're losing their vertigo, right? Their vertigo, okay? And, you know, when I tell you everyone has amnesia, what's being reported all over the world is they're having concussion. Concussion's amnesia. And it's happening to everyone in the world, in the skull, in the mind, right? In the mind. Hawaiian syndrome happening all over the world in 96 countries in the skull with vertigo, right? With vertigo. And people getting massive dizzy spells and can't focus, bad dreams, can't sleep, and concussion. Go look at my video, mainstream media, about this. And the video linked to the post all over the world. Go and have a look. No weapon formed against you can prosper. No weapon formed against you can prosper. Trust me, I know. When you learn to think outside the mind, master your mind, no weapon formed against you can prosper. When you're in the image and you go back in your primal state to think instinctively with your natural organic motor skills, no weapon formed against you can prosper. But it's hardcore shit. As you conquer and divide with everyone around you, and they just have a personality you have to entertain all the time. That might explain a lot of things when you talk to people, that you can only use your personality to talk to people, because it's the only way they can focus and have a conversation with you. Think about this for a moment. When you talk to anyone around you, you've got to use your personality, right? Your personality to get a conversation out of them. You've got to talk about the weather, the cars, the system, or this and that, whatever. Go and do the unemployment office. Go and do this. Go and pay the bills. Go and pay the payments. Look at the car. Look at the sunshine. Look at the cup of tea. Look at the bus. Look at the TV. See the news? That's how they function. Personality. No moral instincts. Can't think instinctively. Can't think outside the mind. Only with the mind. To entertain themselves. Right? With their 5 senses and negative fears. To entertain themselves. To consume too much. And cannot hold a genuine intellectual conversation. And get a real genuine connection. And they conquer and divide more than anything by using these tools. And the whole world's possessed by the devil like this. That's not hard to see. You know, that's why Jeremy Greer said that 93% of Western civilization beyond the point of return, they're controlled by voice of the mind, they're ultimately designed from extinction, born in revelation, and they don't even believe in it. They live in brain-locked denial. Beyond the point of return, as recorded in the documents, as warned in revelation. I find that so astonishing. The Hawaiian syndrome has been taking over human population for 60 years, and people don't even believe in it. They think it's coming when it's already happened, in the mindset they live in. Oh yeah. We could sit back and we saw it happening for the last 50 years. We observed people becoming more mental and more crazy every single day for every platform they fell into for 50 years. And they haven't been awake at all. They just wake up and think they know. And I'm laughing my head off because it's the only way I can get by. I mean, you have to, man. You have to use your sense of humor and realize, man, look what's happening to these people. There's zombies out there. There are robots everywhere. They were told in 1999, they didn't listen. Now look at them. You have to laugh at it, man, because you'll be in tears so much you've got no idea. When you realize the whole world are robots and zombies and using the same tools and think they're intelligent when they're only good at what they do. Record on documents. They have voices in their mind and they think they're talking to themselves and they normalize it. Ask anybody. Ask a psychiatrist. Ask anyone in the world. They think when you talk to yourself, it's normal. When you talk to someone else, it's psychosis. So they actually believe that. With the demons in the mind, they actually believe that. That's why they're completely stripping their moral values. That's why they normalised what was moral yesterday non-stop and twist the fabric tooth to live in their own bubble, to go fast track into nowhere but down extinction, record on documents, fast track it with modern technology, homo-tech babies that know everything, with a massive IQ and only good at what they do to destroy the whole planet, because that's how Satan works for all of them. And go back to your primal state, think instinctively, live by the one-yard rule equally, and love one another, business burdens. We're the only ones who want that peace and harmony. Nobody else does. We're the only ones who want the peace and harmony to live life equally and love one another, business burdens. There's only a few of us left in the world that wants that environment, to live with the tree of life. The rest wants the tree of knowledge, and that's why they accuse you of what they're guilty of, with 5 sins in negative fields. They live in negativity, and we're in positivity. We're in the light. And most people are confused about this because they're still going through the tunnel, and they haven't stuck their head throughout the cave yet. They haven't stuck their head through the light at the end of the tunnel yet, but I have. And I teach people, and I bring them through the light at the end of the tunnel, and they discover that. And believe me, it's the greatest blessing in the world. It's the greatest liberation. It's real freedom, and it's in the mind. It's all in the skull. To think outside the mind and don't think with the skull, and you're free from everything. And that's what's happening to you guys, man. That's why you're here. That's why every single one of you sitting out there alone and so isolated is for the same reason. The rest are just here for entertainment, 99% of them. They're exactly the same as everyone else. What do I keep telling you? 99% of people that follow me are no different than the rest of them. That's why they just come and go, like, text, and take off. Because they're text trolls, they use 5 cents and negative fields, and it's the only function they can use. The same function as everything else that's happening around us. That's why I said 99% of people that follow me at 2.5 million are full of crap. They're just here to entertain themselves and go from one platform to another, and they don't learn what you guys learn. They haven't set free. They haven't even started this. They haven't even began the process or dedicate themselves to think outside the mind with their natural organic minds, because they keep entertaining with the mindset they live in, because they're all possessed by the voice in the mind, and it's a fact. And believe me, it's dramatic. I can guarantee you this: God created the evidence in 1990 that 95% of the population was lost. I know it's 99% in 1999, and I know it's been declared 7 times worse and accelerated 7 times faster. So I know, right, that we're lucky to have 1% make it. Trust me, I'm not the only one expressing this. There's been other people chosen that says only 1% is going to make it. Only about 100 million. Only about 100 million. Only about 100 million. Because when they're not suffering what we're suffering from, you can see what the adverse effects are. Go and take a look around you in real life. Don't sit on social media platform. Go and have a look in real life how many people you really connect with and how many people come and divide with you. If you're the most lonely person in the world out there and everyone comes to divide with you and get criticised every day, then you're like me. Then you know what the truth is. There's only a handful of us. And that's hard to cop, but it's also the truth. Everyone's following their forefathers' footsteps, and that's their gods, the 2fallen angels, and they follow their footsteps with the tools they use. It's that easy to see. We stand in the Christ image. We live by the one year ridiculously. We live by the 2 commandments. We love one another, business, and we only use 8 tools of righteousness, because that's what righteousness people do. They don't depend on nothing else but loyalty, honor, respect, moral inspiration, encouragement to live the tree of life, not to live the tree of knowledge. They give it up. They give up the voices in the mind. They gave up the voices and don't have voices in the mind. That's what I bring people free from, because then they live in the light. And the light is about love and life, right? It's about believing. It's about love. And the rest of the whole world is full of BS. Trust me, that's the truth, and the only truth that will set you free. So listen, guys. I know how hard it is to deal with. Okay? I'm alone. And you know what God did? He sent me Marin. He sent me Marin. Marin's been the greatest inspiration that you've been watching through me for the last 18 months. You know it. Go back and have a look at my videos 18 months ago. You know it. Without Marin, you know, I wouldn't be where I am today, man. Don't you realise that? And I think a lot of you know that, and you've been giving credit for that, and I thank you guys for that, because I know a lot of you are giving credit to that I changed since Marin's been here, because I have. And I'm glad someone actually noticed that, because most don't. But I have had some wonderful comments of people that's calling her and the angel here, because they see how much she changes me. She's been the greatest inspiration in my life, who sits here with me 24 hours a day, right? Okay, she's buckled over herself with the mess disorders, right? So hard to comprehend and face all the things we're going through. But you know what? She will sacrifice her life. She will, because she is. No different than me. She loves her mum to death and believes in God, but she's confused with a lot of things and can't handle the truth. She gets very nervous. And she feels sorry for her. She feels sorry for her because Marin's facing everything head on. She's seeing it for the way it is. And she knows that her mum's still a bit confused and can't deal with it. She knows that. She sees it in everyone else. She was on the streets. She knew people from the streets. She knew people on drugs. She's been connected to people in the streets. She knows the difference between normal civilization and those suffering in the streets and how different they really are. And they'll take their last $10 out of their pocket and shake their mates. And they'll take their shirt off their back because they help everyone. She knows that. And when she looks at her own family and the way they're designed with the tools they use, it's not that she doesn't love them. She knows they don't know any better when she's met people like this. She went through schooling herself and got her diplomacy in marketing strategy, worked behind a computer for more than 10 years of life, right? She's very well off. And you know what? She gave it all up. She gave every single thing up. She followed every platform in the world and gave the whole 9 yards up and could not function and fit in anymore. It was stressing her that much. She came running to me and was sent to me for that reason. She'd rather sit here with me and face the most complicated things in the world than being connected to people that can't deal with it. And it makes her cry, man, like everybody else. It makes everybody cry that cannot deal with the circumstances that they're in today and can't even face it, and then continue to conform and lie, continue to conform and comply, and listen to the voice of the mind to exactly what Baal tells them to do, exactly what the devil tells you to do. You know, the hardest thing to do is to walk away from the shit so the shit hangs on to you. Do you actually get that? Your own emotional feelings that you've got to learn to let go holds you down, holds you back from being who you really are. Trust me, I know. Use the right tools. Use the 8 tools alone. Don't even open your mouth about anything else. Just learn to live by them. And you'd be amazed at the frequencies and the atmosphere you change that people get addicted to and want some of that. Because it's a God-given gift that God gave you. The one that you got is the gift of life, man. The holy breath and the gift of life is in you. The sooner you realize that, the sooner you realize the power that you have when your principality's in the right place, and the power that you have to spread the same atmosphere with the same tools by being in the Father's image. It's having a relationship. Christianity is having a relationship with 8 tools of righteousness, with the outside influence of reality, and being connected to life, nature, and all the things we're in harmony with our friends, family, lovers, and friends, with loyalty, honor, respect, moral inspiration, encouragement. It's what they're all missing so much. And if they can't connect with that, they're not human. End of story. Deal with it head on and get over it and move on, because believe me, your emotional feelings are going to drag you down. If you want to hang on to people that you love because of these tools, right, because you've been with them your whole life, think about how they think. Think about what they put you through. Think about what they're making you give up. When you can't even share and copy a video and they control your whole platform and your whole life, do you understand how much they control you? Do you actually understand how much they hold you back from who you are? When you are controlled by fear yourself, with everything they want you to do, and you don't even like sharing videos because you're worried about what they're going to say when they look at your platform, when they call you conspiracy theorist and a liar, right? So how much do you think they control your whole life? How much do you think everybody controls your whole life? And how many chains do you think are wrapped around you? When you've got control like that, with people like that aren't human, you're going to consistently let atheism and non-human beings control you like this? You're going to consistently let the devil control you? Or are you going to break free from it? There's your answer. There's your real answer. And when you realize that, you realize how lonely it really is. You try to help everyone as much as you can. You never give up. You're supposed to do that. You're designed to do that. Never give up. Fight tooth and nail. Be confronting, but do it with the right tools. Do it with loyalty, honor, respect, moral inspiration, encouragement. Don't use any other tools. Trust me. It's the best chance you got if you want to save them. It's the best thing you got if you want to save them. And it's the only thing we got. To be in that image is the most powerful tool when we get it right. Religions are wrong, education is wrong, IQ is wrong, everything is wrong. It's all BS. It's about believing in yourself and your natural organic motor skills that are coded in your DNA, the building blocks of who you really are. And when you discover who you are, why you're living life is, believe me, God will give you that gift. And you'll feel it with an outside influence that's so powerful, you'll be as high as a kite, and no weapon formed against you can prosper. I swear on that. You'll not have a death experience. Trust me, you will not have fear ever again in your life. There'll be no more voices in your mind when you create that relationship, right, with God. When you get right with God, and you understand that Jesus Christ taught us this, and that's why he says Savior, because it's God who came in our image, and the whole world was wrong, the religions were wrong, the governments were wrong, everybody's wrong, then you understand what it's like to be righteous. When you understand that. Because believe me, it's a liberation. It's a liberation that's so beyond your understanding It's freedom. And the truth will set you free so much, it's beyond your mindset. Have faith, guys. Believe it's all about love. The meaning of life is about love and those tools. Everything else in this world is BS. Those are facts.